Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fatu Network News Review Program. I am Fatu Kamara. And thank you all for joining us. Like always, we will take a look at the newspapers first, and immediately after that, we will talk about the happenings. I'm sure by now you all know about developments at the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. The Fatu Network was able to contact Mr. Manjang himself. We got word from him, and we've also spoken to the board chairperson. We would let you know all this development in a short moment. Right now, if you're just joining us, this is the News Review Program, and I am Fatu Kamara. Thank you once again for joining us. Well, in the newspapers, we start with the Standard newspaper, and it has a man who threatens to sue the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, over police maltreatment. That is right here on the newspaper, on the Standard newspaper. We are trying to share this video right now, and if you can share it, that would be good for a wider reach. So the Standard newspaper, like I said, is reporting that a man threatens to sue the IGP. We got word that this happened actually at the ferry terminal, and it's one Abdul Aziz Kar has threatened to file a lawsuit against the Inspector General of Police over an alleged police assault on him at the Banjul Ferry Terminal on the eve of Eid al-Adha Tabaski. He's explaining the reasons of possible legal actions against the police. Mr. Kar happens to be a GDC member. And also the Standard newspaper is reporting that security chiefs intervened to stop the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation logjam. That was actually yesterday, and we did talk about that and how digital radio, home digital radio hits airwaves. And that's my brother, my colleague, Pamodu Bojang. His radio actually is on. I told him I want a show on there. Let's see if he will give me one. British woman claims her £50,000 bar was illegally confiscated. That's also on the paper, and she is Jodie Coley, a British national, has alleged that her £50,000 bar has been illegally confiscated and re-registered to one Kausu Sise, a Gambian national. That's also on the paper. And Jammeh's victims concerned over release of suspected junglers. As before, I remember sometime a few months ago, we did bring that question up to the PRO of the army, and he did say that they did not find anything on them. And he said if they don't find anything, they cannot keep them because even the law of the country is against that. And Jammeh victims now are saying they're very concerned over that. President Barrow receives Ahmadi architects and engineers. That was also yesterday at the office of the president in Banjul. And the Point newspaper is reporting that government issues license to Gach Mining Company to export black sand. We actually reported that as well. The Fatu Network, Lamin Sanyang, did an interview with them, and it is actually the same company that is doing their tomato paste somewhere in Laming. A court-martial set to rule on ex-president Jammeh's former aides, that's Colonel Umpa and Ansumana Tamba, who actually left with former President Yahya Jammeh to Equatorial Guinea, and they decided to come back. What actually happened was just speculation until, I'm sure, when the court is ready, all that information will come out. But the court-martial is set to deliver in ruling on a submission of no case to answer filed by the Defense Counsel on behalf of the duo, on behalf of the two. Barrow receives International Association of Ahmadis and Architects and Engineers, and the Point is also reporting that. And government issues license to Gach Mining Company. Still, woman 34 hangs herself to death. Very unfortunate situation right there. And The Voice is reporting that the Social Security staff demand the MD to resign. That was yesterday when the gates to the office were locked by the staff. President Barrow receives International Association of Ahmadis is also on the Voice newspaper. Police nabbed 36 men. That's also on the paper. And riot groups found at Amnesty convicted child fiddler. And the Daily News is reporting that Gambia needs new laws against dictatorship. Legal expert, that's Almami Funding Tal, who's saying that the Gambia need laws against that. We've been saying that definitely Jammeh is a dictator and people are concerned about that trend continuing. But others are saying, no, it's not going to it's not going to happen, but still, we don't want to take chances with that. Army Chief intervenes in Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation standoff. That was yesterday. It was the Army Chief of Staff, Masane Kinte, and also the Police IGP Job, as well as the CIS Director. They were all at the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation talking to the staff to give peace a chance. And of course, the global tourism arrivals hit record high in 2017. Imam Fati, a misplaced imam, is an editorial on the Daily News. And the Foreign newspaper is reporting that the pedophile is to be handed over to the Norwegian authorities after his release. Interior Minister Mbalo is the one who is said to have said that. Actually, he promised us an interview and all of a sudden he disappeared on us. And I texted him, I sent him a message and say, Honorable Minister, you promised us an interview and then you bailed out without even picking our calls or saying anything to us. I think that's very unfair, Minister Mbalo, if you're listening. And activists are training on irregular migration on the way and work to resume at Social Security today. So that is all in the newspapers. We have some few stories here for you that we want to go through. And after that, we will tell you what we find out from the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation. We have spoken to actually exchanged text messages with Mr. Manjang and spoke to the board director, Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Jallo. But first, we will bring you the press conference that actually took place today at the Office of the President with the Director of Press and Public Relations, Ami Bojang Sissoho, who was right there talking to the press. Take a listen.
Placing your SIM card at any official outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 GB for free.
From AfriCell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
On the issue of the NDP updates, as you know, there is a ministry responsible for the coordination of it, and the OP is the monitoring on what is going on. There is preparation for the next update that is going to happen very soon. I cannot specify the date, but then there are plans to get the next update for the president to be updated on what is happening since the pledges have been made. So this is what I can tell you for now. Let me get. I want to inform you that the issue was what the Fatu Barrow Foundation, that's the foundation, First Lady's Foundation. I'm saying that it's not part of my jurisdiction, my responsibility to talk about FAB Foundation. We relate to the First Lady as First Lady, not as a FAB Foundation member or owner of FAB Foundation. So that is something, that is why I'm not even engaging the president on that issue, because it's not about the First Lady as an individual. They said it's about her foundation. So I think those who are responsible for her foundation will be in a better position to answer that. The president has set up a panel to look into the social security issue. So if you have comments like that, can you please excuse me out of that? I'm very sorry, because I'm not here to engage in the approach we're taking. I know people are always trying to provoke individuals, but I want to make it clear that I'm not interested in such engagements. What I am interested in is professionalism in the work we're doing. We're here to give you the versions that we have access to and the information we have access to. So if you have other type of information that you want to push, please excuse me, not in this forum. After the donors conference, when we returned, there was a committee that was set up to follow up on those donor conference pledges. I've made that clear. And it's being led by the Ministry of Finance. So, but very soon, as part of the monitoring mechanisms, the President is going to have an update briefing from the sectors to give you more information and update him on the situation of all these things that are happening. So, and that should include what has happened since the Brussels meeting in terms of following up on the pledges. I think I've made that clear. Do you understand what I have said?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
TAF Africa Global is pleased to launch Dalaba Housing Estate. Dalaba Housing Estate is our newest estate located on the Sukuta-Jabang Road. You can buy a finished 2 or 3 bedroom house or service plots accompanied with a free fence and gate. At Dalaba Housing Estate, you get to enjoy bituminized roads, gated and fenced properties, solar street lights, water reticulation, public amenities, 1,500 fruit trees aligned in streets and many more. Make a 40% down payment today and spread the balance conveniently for 10 years with GTBank, EcoBank and Trust Bank. Terms and conditions apply. Wait, this is the best part. We are giving a discount on outright payments. For more information and exceptional service, please call our office line on +220 4410 Still, call us on mobile or via WhatsApp on +220 376 2333 or +220 776 2333. You can also visit our website on www.tafafricahomes.com. TAF Africa Global. Our experience is global. Our focus is Africa.
Welcome back. If you have comments, excuse me, out of that, I am only interested in professionalism. Those are the words of the Director of Press and Communications at the Office of the President, Ami Bojang Sissoho. Well, I'm glad she's saying she's professional. I hope she is professional, but there's a part that I want to address here because I see a lot of people going after the press, the journalists that were there, saying they were not asking the right questions. But if you talk to the press like this, you're kind of like intimidating them. And if that happens, not everyone is strong-headed, not everyone is the same. So some of these people will feel intimidated, and even to ask a question will be very difficult for them. I think next time we would like to call on the press secretary to kind of like calm down, tone down a little bit. That would help the press, because the press has to be free in an environment that is very free for us to be able to do our work effectively. Right now we have another Vox Pop that we want to bring you. Stay tuned in.
I'm going to replace my AfriCell 3G SIM card.
Why use a 3G SIM card when you have a 4G phone? Replace your 3G SIM card today for the real AfriCell 4G SIM and receive 1 GB of internet data for free.
How did I see the government of Gambia? As to what? I just got here last year. I've been overseas for some years. But as far as I know, the crime rate, I know it's increasing because I've heard from different people from various areas that the crime rate is increasing. As far as dictatorship, I don't know. It seems like we're having the same policies. Everything's the same so far, as far as I can see. A lot of complaints in the street, and nothing is moving as far as businesses are concerned. And everything is kind of stagnated right now.
Because I saw this condition dëkk bi da nga wara xam am na ñu bari ñi ngi xalaat seen boppa fa lañ ko wara dugal ni mëna dem yëngatu ni mëna am dara pour seen njaboot yi so xam nga nguur bala mu ne gestu ci ginaaw daal
nekka ni mo sajakat yi mo dañu ëppal ci dëkk bi nekka ni mo gomme mo wara jóg ñu dimbalé ñu pour mëna wañéku bu baaxa baax nekka ni mom dëkk bi mom kenn mëna nelaw so nelawé dañu fekk la ci biir kër di la saja waaw.
They always say about government. I think government is by the people, for the people, of the people. I think the people should get up, show up, shoot up, and dress up. That's what I think. Show up, dress up, and shoot up, and do something about their own country. Wait for government. People should get up, put on their boots, and do something about whatever needs to be done. Don't wait for government. For instance, look at the streets in Gambia. Everybody talking about how bad the streets are, but nobody's willing to do anything voluntarily to fix the streets. People are building mansions everywhere, but you take a push to go to your house.
Mais ku nekk mënu la xam naka la because ku nekk mi ngi gestu sa morom mun loo xam boppam bi ak jën bi so lu gën a rafet mooy ñun tamit bëgg naa pour xam lan mooy njëriñ nguur bu es bi mais am na yeneen place da nga dee dem nga ragal sax pour dugg foofu sax because da nga dee dem am na ñeneen da nga dee dem nga daje nit mu ne la bul dem place nangam because soo gisee mu ne bul dem place nangam am na ñeneen bandi yi fa nekk sometimes dañ dee disturb nit yi loolu dafa bëri trop.
It is beyond our expectations. What we were expecting make us to vote for the changes. To be frank, isn't in place. No, especially for person with disability. You know, there is no, environmental accessibility. Even to see the permanent secretary, I have to climb up, which is not normal, which is not right.
Right now, the Gambian gisaan ngul dara because yaakaar ñu bëri li ñu gis li ñu dëgg ak li ñu fokkoon loolu yëpp ngi xalaat loolu day fa war a feeñ si ñun right now nii.
su nekk nii moom ñu ngi kontaan bu baax a baax ñi nga am nañ ceeñi tuuti bu baax a baax fu nekk nii moom sant yàlla bu baax a baax waaw.
Gambia de da nga bëgg ñu yëpp ñu jiboo ñu nekk benn réew bi dem si kanam ñu yëpp ñu nekk benn sàccakat yi ñu bàyyi rey nit yi ñu bàyyi.
toog na pour changement bu gën a bëgg mooy. gestu nit yi daal waaw nit yi seen xalaat liggéey mooy problème bi soo xam nga yaa Jammeh bañoon naa loolu mais xam nga ñun ñëpp gisoon na bañoon naa amul soo da ngaa doog guddi ba bëccëg loolu day am.
Really?
Yes, get 1 gigabyte for free just by replacing your SIM card at any Africell outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 gigabyte for free.
From Africell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where Africell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Fatu Network News Review program right here at our offices on Kairaba Avenue. Just like what the guy was saying, that's also something that a lot of people will ask questions about. You come over to Gambia, there's a lot of mansions here, people living in very nice houses, very nice cars, but the roads to those houses, is just crazy. I don't know why people don't get to put money together and try to, fix the road around their area. I don't think that would hurt at all. And there's another person right there who was talking about not much change. That is because a lot of people will blame that on the fact that you have the same people that enable the past government that are still in the system. Some people are saying the moment you have that, it would be very difficult to move anything forward. We do know that they are Gambians as well and they deserve to work. But some were saying instead of putting them in managerial positions, it would have been better to kind of like replace them with other people on the top and also have them, somewhere around the middle. But again, this is all some things that people are saying. The government has the final say. And if they feel this is working out for them, well, I guess then it's working out for them, in their way. But right now, we're going to talk about the social security issue. We know that the situation is still a little bit tense. We were trying to find out if Kamara was at work today. We contacted the board chairperson, Mr. Jallo. He actually said he cannot confirm that if he was at work today. And we also put the same question by text to Mr. Manjang to ask if Kamara was at work today. But he too said he did not check to find out. But we know for sure that Mr. Manjang has been asked to step aside for now. He has been put on leave. It did not say suspension. But when we contacted him, what we are told is that by text message, we sent him a message to say, "Hi, Mr. Manjang, this is the Fatu Network. We heard that you're being put on leave. Is this true?" And he replied by saying, "Hi, Fatu, I don't have a formal letter yet." He said he does not have a formal letter, but he has been told verbally that it's best for him to go on a month's leave while investigation continues. So he is still waiting for the letter, but he has not received any letters yet. As of now, he's just been told verbally that it's best for him to step aside for a month so that they can continue their investigations. And we actually contacted the board chairperson, Mr. Jallo, to put the same question to him, to ask him if it is true that Mr. Manjang has been suspended or put on leave. He said he also heard it, but no letter, no formal letter has been sent to them. So as we speak right now, Mr. Manjang has been asked verbally to stay away, to step aside for at least a month while investigations continue, but he has not received any formal letter as we speak to you. And also about Mr. Kamara, they are not sure. Both the board chairperson and Mr. Manjang are not sure if it's at work. He's at work because they did not check. But we'll also keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, if there's something that you want to say on here, because I did not have an invite today. If you want to contribute, the Skyline is open and it's Fatu Radio Live. We're also trying to get a number with Africell that the locals can call through and be able to join our shows live and direct. Another message here, somebody is just saying the Barrow government has really lost its way. Very sad that after all the suffering from brutal fight, we have to be confronted with this. Somebody is saying that in reaction to putting Mr. Manjang on leave. And someone said that about the Norwegian, we know that there is a prison certificate circulating around that actually the guy has served his term. If a day is counted as 2 in prison, this guy was put in prison in 2012, and by now his term must have ended. There's a certificate that's going around. We're trying to put that question to the people to ask them if it was actually time for him to leave or it was a pardon. But somebody is saying here, please check with the Norwegian ministry. They will comfortably confirm that Norwegian authorities are not put in the picture. He's saying Mbalo needs to know that he cannot spin this issue. Let him come up. Some words I have to edit. I'm sorry because of the, he's not here to defend himself. And he's saying it's not fair. People liking the office, liking the office of Tambidu, linking the office, I guess is what he's trying to say, that it is not fair people linking the office of the Honorable Minister for Justice to what a mistake that was done by the Honorable Minister of Interior's office. And someone said, I can assure you that Mbalo will not give you an interview knowing fully you are a street smart journalist, not a mumu journalist. Thank you very much. Well, he's always been very nice to us when we talked to him on the phone, and he was actually the one who promised an interview, but he bailed out on us. He's the only one who knows the reasons, but we will keep trying. Like we said, most of the time we have stories and we don't want to publish because we don't want to speculate. So if we come to you, we just want to give you a chance to defend yourself, because it is definitely not fair for us to run with one side of the story. The reason why the Social Security is saying they would not give us any interviews. One of my staff today, Kesebondi Jabato host, contacted Modu Kamara to say she wants an interview, and she's told that because we are with they said we're with Manjang, so they would not give Fatu Network an interview. Well, it's up to them. They have a right to say they would not give us an interview. But one thing we can tell them, we have no reason to be on any side. We are not on any side. We're just trying to be as neutral as we can and try to give all of you the opportunity to defend yourselves. So, like I said, if you want to comment something about this situation about Manjang, there's someone on the line right now, I understand. Hello?
It's me again.
Yes, Tukulor, we understand that Manjang is actually put on leave. We contacted him by text message, and he replied to say that he did not receive a letter as at now, but he's been told to step aside for a month while they continue their investigations, but a letter is not given to him as we speak.
Potato is the same thing. People are saying, well, he's not suspended. He's been put on leave. That is the same thing. They're just, putting a Band-Aid on it. Fatu, yes. What bothers me is the fact that right now my heart aches. The only difference right now is that Barrow is not killing people, alhamdulillah. And that's not going to happen because Gambians are not going to allow for that to happen anyway. Mm-hmm. But so here we are today. He has sent Manjang home. Then why can't he dissolve his wife's 419 foundation, where she has been accused of corruption and stealing money? If Manjang is going home, how come Fatoumata Barrow Foundation is still kicking?
Yeah, that question, that question was, I don't mean to cut you right there, but that question was put to Ami Bojan Zizaho, the director of press, and she said they're dealing with her as the first lady, not as FAP. So they would not be able to answer that question, meaning she was asked if she has briefed the president about it. She said no, because that is a foundation issue. It's definitely not her as the first lady.
Okay, so this takes me back to Bankamane's post that he did this morning. People should go and read that post. Exactly. It's about favoritism and nepotism. So as long as this is too close to him, we're not going to talk about it. But other people, and to be honest with you, right now what is happening at Social Security is going to resonate across other government institutions. Fatu, This government was supposed to do better than the First and Second Republic. The Third Republic was supposed to be better than both republics. And here we are. If you ask me, when it comes to governance, 18 months, Fatu, 18 months is too soon for us to see the corruption that is happening in Barrow's government. Here we are. It seems like there's nobody to account for Barrow. So Manjang has been sent home, so we're accounting for him. Nobody's accounting for Barrow. So Gambians, you got to rise up. And I'm not saying go and break the law. I'm saying speak up, Gambians. You see, Gambians have this laissez-faire, attitude where, as long as your bread is buttered, you don't care about what's going on. But I'm talking to you about this. This is your children's future, Gambians. Here we are, thinking that Barrow will come and fix what Jammeh broke for 22 years. If anything, within 18 months, he hasn't done anything. Look at all the money that poured into Gambia, Fatih. And let me tell you something. European funders are not stupid. If they see that your country is in disarray, they're not going to give you money. That donor conference he went to, those monies have not come forth. You know why? Because they're looking at Barrow saying, wait a minute, you are traveling, every day like a celebrity, while you're asking us to fix your country and you haven't done anything about it. This guy just needs to go.
So then, yeah, I know it's a difficult situation. We were talking to some people right there on that Vox Pop, and they're still expressing frustrations. I mean, it's unfortunate that we actually don't know what is going wrong and where it is going wrong. But I just put a question onto Manjang right now as we speak. Tukulor, I just sent him another text message asking him if he would resign. I put that to him and said, now that all of this is happening, are you going to resign? He said, I have not made the decision as of now.
And today, if I were his wife sitting next to him, I would say, honey, you tried, live with your dignity. You try to do the right thing, which is unacceptable in Gambian society. But you see, Fatou, this is my thing. If I am at a job and I see corruption and I try to curb it and I am stopped, I'm chastised, my dirty laundry is aired simply because I'm trying to do right, then I will know that that is not a place for me. Mr.
Exactly,
Manjang,
because now he cannot be able to exercise his statutory powers, if the board cannot exercise theirs as well, and that's going to be very difficult for him to make anything happen at that office.
Exactly, and Mr. Manjang, Fatou, people say they don't watch, but I bet he's going to watch this. Mr. Manjang, if I were you, quit. Bravo. You try to save the investment of innocent Gambians, their hard-earned dollars. You try to salvage it for them, but your president doesn't want you to clean up Social Security. Fatou, during Adama's book launch, which people don't talk about, but you remember he had that mini book launch, apparently government institutions were asked to contribute towards it. And I heard that Manjang said no, because Social Security is an institution, not a philanthropic organization, and the institution has nothing to do with a book launch. Anywhere else, I bet they have all sent in money, because just like Jammeh style, they're all donated to the president. So when you have somebody like that, now I am forced to believe that Adama Barrow himself, maybe Manjang is standing in his way. And Adama Barrow, this is what happens if you don't govern right. People are always going to turn around and accuse you of stuff that may not even be in your nature. But simply because you decided to do this with Manjang, why don't you contribute with your wife? Oh no, $33 million in her bank account is something that you need for when you leave.
Well, thank you very much, Tukulor. We saw your video, the one that you did yesterday, and I was like, oh, the wife is going all after, the husband. But thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Just to say, if you are having a little bit of trouble connecting to us with the network, we apologize. We're trying to check something today. That's why we're doing this live broadcast with another network. We're trying to see something with our sponsors, AfriCell. So hopefully it will be fixed as soon as possible. For those of you just joining us, We just want to say that we have reached out to Manjang via text message, and he replied to say that he has been asked to step aside for a month so that investigations can go on, but he told us he has not received any official letter as of now. We've also spoken to the board chairperson, Mr. Jallo, to ask him about the situation with Mr. Manjang. He too said he got word that Manjang has been asked to step aside for a month, but he has not seen any letter as of now. And Manjang said he's waiting for the letter, and the moment he receives it, he will keep us posted about it, and we would, of course, let you know. And we're also trying to find out if Mr. Modu Kamara is at work. We also got from the board chairperson that he said he's not sure, he did not ask. And Manjang is also saying he does not know if Kamara showed up at work today. Just to let you know that the Social Security staff are back at work today, but yesterday, the whole day up till about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, that was when they got back to work after they were out since 4 o'clock, locked the entrance to the office, and the Chief of Defense Staff and the Director of SIS and the Police Inspector General were the ones who went there to talk to the staff to maintain peace. Right now, if you want to contribute to this issue about Manjang, you can call in and tell us what you think about it before we let go of you. But if you're just joining us now, we are saying thank you very much. This is the Fatu Network, and this is the news review program. Omar Wali, your great interviewer, is not in right now. This week he's out on training, but he'll be back next week, inshallah. And yes, just like we said, somebody is saying they don't understand what we are saying in English. Nkamem for wale manjan no kuolem eko manjang na diam nga message okia ne texto nga sotole ako ha ya fine pray nyori follow curriculum for kuolning investigation on ye pare bari iman letter diala. Ako abenyin tembo mento hani sainteng imal letter diala manjang mune johanguñ ko letter way wax nañ ko ne pour mu randongum ben weer mu har way dañ ko wax verbally way johanguñ ko ben letter mune suñ ko joxe letter rek mom dinañu wax naka la fa taajo amna ku wax ne mu ngi try pour call wante mune munta duga xawma lu tax xamna ci network yi la way bala ma rek nga ngeen try again hejna hopefully bu ngeen try again di ngeen mën a ñëw duga suba nag am na ku ñu fi promise interview kenn kuy ñëw he will talk about the education system, of course, because we saw the press release, or I think it was a press release that was sent. ñu ngi wax ne President Barrow was talking to some people about the education, but if you could remember, Barrow also said that the education results are not as bad as people are saying. So I'm glad ne maybe mom gis na ko legi bam demé tok mu set ko, because I read something where he was saying ne they will get help to make sure that they improve the education system in the country. So that means that he got the word. So that is good. And on the Fatoumata Barrow Foundation, people are still asking what we found out. Like we said, right now, we're still waiting. We have not found out anything more than what we told you these past few days. We know that the police have not opened any investigations into the issue. And we know that the TBA company is the one that would be doing the transmission and distribution service in this country. There's an article on the Fatu Network. It talked about all the areas that they'll be covering, which will be in the North Bank region and also in the Laminkoto and Diabugu area. They'll be working on that in terms of transmission and distribution. That is a loan that was from the roadmap project from the World Bank, the government of China, and also the World Bank. The World Bank, China government, and yes, someone is on the phone. I'm sorry, I get a bit distracted. Yes. Hello?
Hello, Fatu.
Yes.
But Fatu, man nak dama la kasi Olof because dama bëgg ñëpp dégg lu ma wax.
Wow.
Right? Okay, going back to press secretary bu no wax ne affaire fa bi mom mënu sé duga parce que lolu affaire personnel living force lady la. I mean, Lee is the incompetency of the press secretary bu ñoo wax ngi Lee is our first lady. Ki moy first lady Gambia. Jabari president la. Whatever comes to her account, nit ñi wara xam exactly how fu mu joggé transparency dafa wara am. Right? Te journalist am na right pour question ko because mo suñ first lady. So li mo la won ñi dañ corrupt. Right? Halis bi duga si, halis lolu ñu la won lolu su ko bank bi ligu ton. Ku doon liggéey si bank su ko ligu ton, how would we know? Like naka la ñoo xamé xaliss fu mu joggé ak xaliss bu lu ñëriñ ak lu proposal. Right? Nga joggé fa tamit ñi def done so many things so xamé nit ñi xamuñ ko. Ba bari they've done so many things so xamé dafa leak dafa am pour leak ba pare si la nit ñi soog a xam ñi lan la ñoo def nii yow ay government boo xam ne ñun jógee nañ si problème Yaya Jammeh ñëpp xam nañ problème yu nekk Gambia ñëpp xam nañ ne Yaya Jammeh fu ñu teg ñëpp xam nañ Gambia nu mu delloo gannaaw ñun dañ expect ne government bi su ñëwee tey duñ roy si Yaya Jammeh lu mu doon def dañoo ñëw with a different route you know ini transparency accountability like development ñu dimbale nit ñi waaye ñi faatu ñi amuñ benn yërmande ñii dafa mel ni ñii seen personnel interest lañ ciy toogee te lu ko waral rek mooy ne ñu ngi toog ne ok next goo xamee ñu duñ fi nekka soo ne la njiiroo nañ def luñ mun a def nañ indi suñ boppa because next goo xamee duñ fi mun a nekka because président Barrow nii lu moo demee nii MOU bi man dama foog na ne daf ko war a respect next 3 years mu génn fa because dëkk bi lu moo demee nii I mean it's crazy like it's unbelievably crazy nu dëkk bi di demee nii
okay well dégg nañ la yes
nga jógee fa Manjang keesam bi président Barrow dafa waroon a set great example because Manjang keesam bi nu mu demee nii right now institution su nekk Gambia nit ñi dañoo mën a jóg def luñ def bañ daxalu Manjang so how managing director nu moo demee nit ñi yëpp jóg naan de bëgguñ Manjang nga daxa kooku noonu like keneen suñ jógee def di same thing yow loo si lii dafa indi caawa si dëkk bi dafa indi issues mooy wax CDS lu mu faa uti IGP lu mu faa uti seen director lu mu faa uti
Thank you very much, Kola Deganella. Thank you so much for your time. Jerejef, and someone sent a text right here and say, tell Manjang he has substantial public support and must stand his ground. Let him politely but firmly reject any suggestion he goes on leave and let the government either let him do his job or fire him, but he should not give them any concessions, including pushing him to go on leave, even if he is due for one. Someone is saying that Manjang should definitely not go on leave. He should not allow it to happen. And there's someone trying us in the US. She said she's trying, but let's see if that's her. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. It's not her.
Yeah, Fatu, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Yeah, I was just watching and I thought like I have a view to share and I just wanted to share my own take.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I think like the issue of social security is just bigger than like the way people are just seeing it. And the reality is everybody among us would accept and agree that, the way that not only social security, but our public institutions were run during the past regime wasn't the least desired. So for me, what I expected, like if Manjang came and he wanted to make reforms for the institution, the first thing that he should have done was to sit the staffs of the institution down, because as a leader, you cannot have a vision and you cannot make the employees that are going to work under you buy into that vision. And that is what has happened with him. And two, I've seen people say like he's a reformer, he was trying to bring in austerity, and on several occasions he has talked about this. But for me, my take is, if you're going to cut down costs and you want to bring in financial discipline, it needs to start from the top. Like from the board coming down to him himself as the managing director, then to senior management staff, and then to the normal staff. But you cannot come and deny. I'm not saying what the staffs are requesting is right. For example, like giving sugar to cleaners and drivers. These are things that institutions do in Gambia, and it's not only social security. And that's the fact. I've seen people talk about loans, car loans, house loans. You go to any institution in Gambia, it's still existing, and that's the fact. And the next thing is like Manjang cannot deny staffs, these cleaners, a bag of sugar, which is $1,200. And I'm 100% sure the whole number of cleaners and drivers is not up to $100,000. But yet he can go ahead and then buy a phone for $60,000 for himself. He can still go ahead and have a dinner with his family and pay $19,000. And he can go ahead and then go take a per diem for a trip that he never went for. And then yet still he can go and fire 2 staffs who have worked for 10 years for the institution. And they were just holding $5,000. They were late to retire the $5,000, and he fired them. So for me, what kind of leadership is that? That is not a good sign of a leader. A leader, you must lead by example. You must practice practically what you preach. And that is how you get respect of your subordinates. But you cannot tell them, don't go X, don't do X, and while you are doing it, and you want them to listen to you. They will not even respect you. And the next thing is like, for me, I think the performances of social security is not about management policy or whatever. What used to happen before, if social security has money, government used to take it and then put it in other institutions. And now that this government has stopped that, automatically the liquidity position of the institution will improve. And if it improves, which means the institution has money to invest on ventures that are
well, caller, you raised very significant points, but I just have a question for you because I think saying that every other institution will give sugar for Ramadan and Tobaski, ram or stuff, but I think those two are not priorities. I mean, it depends. They don't have to really be there, or do we have to continue that? Looking into consideration the situation that the country is in right now, do we have to make those a priority? Like staff should get sugar.
I am totally with the belief that reforms need to happen. Yes. And that should start from government. It's not only, my thing is, why are they just singling out Social Security and their staffs? These things should start even from the president coming down. The president even needs to cut down his costs. You understand? Because that is what good leadership is all about. But you cannot be punishing junior staffs who earn less than even $2,000.
The money about him going out for dinner, I actually was trying to find out, but I know that every managing director or ambassador, they have what is called an entertainment fund. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is the amount for instance.
I know about that. I've worked in an international corporate organization. I know all these things happens.
Yes.
But this thing happens in the way
that's called an entertainment fund where the managing director can go out with family and friends. For instance, if the institution have guests, they can go out and they would bill the office will pay.
You have guests, but not family. I don't know of. In all the institutions that I've worked for, even me personally, I used to have that allowance, but I cannot use it personally on my own. I can only do it if I have business meetings. When I go out on a business meeting with somebody and then I take the person to a restaurant and we have dinner or we have lunch or we have drinks, I use part of that money to pay for that bill. But I cannot take it for if I want to go and entertain myself, I dip from my pocket and pay for myself. So for me, if it is a policy of the institution, and definitely Manjang wants to come and do reforms, cut costs, he should not have even forgone about that facilities himself. Just to set example for other staff.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for those points, your opinion, sir, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, that caller too is saying that definitely should start from the top. It should not start with the junior staff, from the office of the from the office all the way. I was just saying we are live on air. We cannot pick phone calls right now. We are live. The caller that is trying from the US, if you can try one more time before we end this program, if you can try one more time, that would be great. But meanwhile, just to say that we're talking about the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation issue, we know that Manjang is asked to step aside as investigations continue. He's asked to step aside for a month, but the Fatu Network have contacted him via text, and he did say that he did not receive any letter as of now to that effect, but he has been told verbally to step aside for at least 1 month. Let's take this other caller. Hello?
Yeah, hello, Fatu?
Yes.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All right.
Oh, yes, is that Banka? I can see you on Skype.
Yeah, this Banka, I know you were seeing my ugly face. You couldn't even recognize me. But that's
Banka, there's an issue there. The guy that just called was saying that Social Security, if they were trying to put those reforms in place, it should definitely start with Manjang himself.
If they want to do what?
The reforms that they were trying to put in place to save money and stuff like that, he said that should definitely start with Manjang. But Manjang going out to the restaurant using the entertainment money with his family, he said that was wrong. And all the travels and everything, he said that was wrong. It should definitely start. And the sugar and the Tobaski ram, or whatever they were giving, he said that is normal in many of the institutions in Gambia.
Well, Father, look. Let's deal with since the caller was dealing with numbers, let's deal with numbers. And I like that because numbers will tell us exactly what's going on here. At the end of the day, what we are being told, and this is a report out there, nobody has come out to dispute it yet, that Social Security lost $26 million is prior to Mohamed Manjang arriving, just 2016, prior to Mohamed Manjang arriving. When Mohamed Manjang came, Social Security made $82 million in profit. Okay, now, I'm still struggling with this, and I'm scratching my head. why would you want to get rid of somebody like that? Why would somebody even suggest?
Yeah, but somebody is saying that the reason why Social Security made all that money, they said, is because Jammeh is not there anymore and he's not taking the money. They said before.
But look, we cannot have this both ways now. Manjang, before Manjang came, the institution was losing money. Manjang, as the new managing director, the institution is making money. I mean, literally, that blows away any argument that it was Jammeh or not Jammeh. We cannot really base it on that, because the fact of the matter is, when Jammeh was there, the institution was losing money. They still had managing directors that were running that institution. So what were they doing that basically created that situation where Jammeh caused them to lose money? So it's bad leadership. So in the end, all credit is due to Mohamed Manjang, because before him, the institution was losing money for whatever reason. I don't care. But the leaders of the institution at the time then failed the institution. And Mohamed Manjang came in and he made money for the institution. Whether, if the employees worked harder or whether Jammeh wasn't there, I don't want to get into all that, because that's more of we are basing it on.
I did ask Mohamed
something that.
I did ask Mohamed Manjang if he would resign, because it would be very difficult for him to go about and do his work as the situation is right now. But he said he has not decided that as of now. And I could remember putting that question to you yesterday, that if you were in his situation, would you resign?
No, I will not resign. And here's why. You see, when it comes to the Mohamed Manjang...
But remember, it's 271 staff against you.
I'm coming. Look, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Mohamed Manjangs of this world, when people who lead and trying to bring about the kind of change, sometimes they are also, their driving motivation and the fuel that runs that engine is their belief in making sure that the country is put on the right track. So when you're asking them to back off or back down pretty much, you are telling them to quit. That's like Fatu Kamara with you, when we were fighting Jammeh. Back in the days, you remember people used to tell you, Fatu, with all the suffering you guys are going through, you should just quit this fight and go home. It's not worth it, da-da-da-da. But you never quit, right? And the same thing is happening with Manjang here. Just because he's facing these challenges at this department, and people are telling him to quit, because you're facing these challenges, you should just quit and just save yourself the energy and the time. I think that's a very wrong advice. At this point right now, what we need to do is, and this is a watershed moment for our country, Fatu. You see, every manager in that country is watching this case. Every leader that is of these institutions is watching this case. So they are saying to themselves now, look, Mohamed came in with all these bold ideas, big changes, and trying to make a difference. And here's how he got treated. So basically, if I try to bring about any change here to turn this institution around, this is the fate I am going to face. So what would they do? They will play by the games, by the rules, and just kind of just go along with the crowd. And at the end of the day, with the Gambia the way it is, even to be a good president in the Gambia and be effective at it, Fatu, I have to tell you, you have to make some very, very tough decisions that many people will not like, because those decisions will go against the grain. In other words, people's interests will be threatened, their privileges will be in jeopardy, and anytime you do that, you better be ready for a big fight. Now, if you want a Gambian president and you are not ready for that kind of fight, you might as well stay home and not be part of it. A lot of people are avoiding this social security issue because they're afraid of the kind of backlash they will face themselves. And this is the kind of situation we are in. Because when you do, you get criticized, you're going to get called names, all kinds of things will happen. But at the end of the day, that's what it's going to take to turn our country around, Fatu. If we don't, then we are kidding ourselves. We are going nowhere. I can tell you that.
Well, thank you very much, Banka. But we also did a Vox Pop here asking people about so far what they've seen, their opinion, their views about the borough government. And they're saying nothing has changed. Some are saying that. And other people could say that is very unfair for them to say that. At least something must have changed. What's your take?
Well, look, I think those who are saying nothing has changed is because they have set the bar a certain level. Because what troubles me for the most part is the low bar that we have set for borough. In other words, this idea that, because we now have quote-unquote freedom to speak out and people are not getting killed like Jammeh used to do, that somehow means borough can fail in all other areas. And that, I think that's a very, very low bar to set, because that's not even where we are supposed to go with any leader, let alone, borough for that matter. So those who are saying we haven't seen any change, they have decided, you know what, those killings and those things are a foregone conclusion. Those should not even be part of the measurement. The measurement should be in all these key areas: health, education, agriculture. I can go on and on and on. People's living standards. In those areas, we haven't seen any change whatsoever. And for those people, yes, no change has happened. Now, for those who want to set the bar so low to the point that even somebody, the president, not killing us or torturing us is part of the measurement. For those people, yes, some changes have happened, and so
no, definitely he's not going to kill us. He's not going to kill us. He cannot kill us. That's not part of the deal. That's never going to happen in Gambia again.
Measurement. Exactly. I don't know why anybody will make that part of the measurement anyway.
Well, thank you very much for your time. There is another somebody else there in America who's trying to get into the line. Hopefully she will this time around. But thank you very much, Banka. We appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. And we're about to end this program. I just saw a few text messages in right now. Okay, so we will look at that one. That's the story that's coming in about the press conference today. And someone in America is saying Gambia is not ready for the change that we fought for. That's what this person right here is saying. Another person in the UK is saying right here that hi Fatu, remember when Dr. Cisse said on Freedom Radio, President Barrow lacks intellectual disposition, he said hell broke loose. But today Manjang is, today is Manjang, tomorrow it will be somebody else. Glad that the haters of Dr. Cisse are crying today, and Dr. Cisse is vindicated. Somebody said that, and the person is saying again that Dr. Cisse, you keep smiling and let the haters keep crying out loud. Someone said that if we don't have, okay, hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you're finally in. That's the last call that we're taking.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you.
You know, this is very, very bad day. It sets a very bad precedence for anti-corruption and having and setting standards and having what everybody's been yearning for, having checks and balances and making sure that we finally start curbing corruption in Gambia. But what this has said is that it's showing that we're not ready for change. One. Two, that we don't care about having checks and balances, having institutions that are strong enough that would even look at what the president is doing and say, hey, you know what, this guy is not doing, so call him in the National Assembly, have him explain this, and that. We're not ready for that. Because if Barrow is going to be there, and why would you have Social Security, for example, and then you have the board that's set in the daily operations of the business, and then you interfere with that. That tells me that we're ready. This is setting the stage for something that we all fought against. I know we don't want to call it dictatorship. Everybody screams when you call it dictatorship, but come on. This is looking and sounding just like that. We're setting the stage because Barrow has no place. If Social Security, the board has decided that Camara should be suspended, why should they actually tell him that he has to? Why should someone else interfere and say, hey, go back to work tomorrow?
And that reminds me, I don't mean to cut you right there, but I spoke with the board chairperson and I put that question to him. If they were the ones who suspended Camara, but he said it was actually a management decision. It was from the management, but it was run through them, that they know about it, but it was a management decision.
So it was a management decision still.
Yes, he said.
Why would you? So what's the point of having a manager there then? If you have an MD supposed to do the day-to-day operations, why would you? Everything he says, why would you just scrap it and do? Why shouldn't Barrow just run the office then? Why should he just run the office?
Well, because it's unfortunate. So what would you say if you were Manjang and you were in this situation? Would you resign? Because it looks like his hands are tied now.
I will not resign. I will not resign. I will have them show themselves out. I will hold on to. I mean, because Gambia is the reason he's doing this. He's not doing it for wealth. He's not doing it for anything. If Manjang is listening, I would say, hold on. You stay on that job. You stayed on to help Gambia, to help the pensioners. You're doing this job not for your own pocket, not popularity. You're doing it for pensioners. So you stay on that job and let Barrow fire you. If he fires you, that's more marbles he's going to lose. Because if Barrow only cares about winning the next elections, if he only cares about winning the next elections and he's running moves like this, he's actually shooting himself on the foot. So if I'm Manjang or if I know someone who's close to Manjang, I will let them know that to tell him not to quit. Let him stay and let him wait for that letter of suspension. First of all, once that letter comes, once the 1 month passes, let him prepare and get back, because he's doing it for pensioners. Then if they send him a letter and say, hey, you're fired, perfect. Then he can go look at another role. You don't quit. You don't quit. You don't quit. You signed up to help. You signed up to help change the system. So you cannot go midstream and quit unless they make it unbearable. The person that put you in there, if he tells you he doesn't want you anymore, then you pack your bags and leave. Because, Fatu, look at it.
Thank you.
Come and get it's a public institution. It's a federal building, for God's sake. Who are these people to shut it down like that? And nothing comes out of it. So that tells you there's a bigger invisible hand that's guiding them and emboldening them.
Very unfortunate situation right there, but I guess they would...
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm sure they...
Yeah, and the service chiefs have no place in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, better sending the service chiefs, Fatu, is again another sign of dictatorship. What happened to the minister? What happened to SG? They should have been in there talking to these people. And they're making it seem like all 200 or 300 people are against him. He blocked the building that I'm supposed to walk in to go to office, to go to work. I will stand outside and wait. So not all those people that were outside were against Manjang. That's what they're making it seem. And that's not the case. We have to dig deeper and stop looking at and these people have to, they need to be suspended somehow for blocking a federal building and denying everybody access until, what did you say, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And 4 o'clock, you get in there, 4:30, you pack your bags and go home. That was a whole day of business that they have ruined. This is ridiculous. I think pensioners need to also come out. You can protest as much as you want. When you want to protest, you go hold your placard. It doesn't matter where. You go stand outside, but you don't open the doors and say that no one can enter. This is ridiculous. And they're coming up with all these receipts. This sets a bad precedent. Anybody coming from the diaspora, you will not be able in that environment. That's exactly what they're showing you today. They're saying that nobody can change their corrupt ways.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And looking at the comments right here, there is a lot of people saying if they were Manjang, they would not resign. And some other people are still saying that why would management put someone on suspension who is representing staff at the board? They're also saying, how is that possible? Right now, I think that's all that we have for you if we don't have any more calls. But thank you very much for your time. And we would again take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, AfriSal, and of course, TAF Africa Global and APS Money Services. Thank you very much for your time. And we'll be back again tomorrow, inshallah, and we have an interview that we've already arranged for tomorrow. Hopefully the person will not bail out on us, just like the Interior Minister Mbalo did. He actually said, yes, I will do an interview, I will call you after this meeting, and Mbalo bailed out. So we hope tomorrow that person will also not bail out. But like we said, we are not on anybody's side right here. We're trying to do our job and let the audience or the viewers decide, and that's the Gambians. Thank you all very much. I am Fatou Camara. Until I come your way again tomorrow, have a very good one. Thank you.